Hi folks, thanks very much for joining me for this week's river tutorial. In the vise you see a dry Caenis. So without further ado, let's get into it. In the vise then is a Hanak H 130 barbless hook. This one's at size 14. It's a fine wire hook in black nickel. Now the thread I'm going to be using today is from Semperfli. It's at 18.0 and it's nano silk in olive green. First thing I'm going to do, as always with the silks, I'm going to get a tiny little bit of super glue onto the shank of my hook. For those that don't watch the channel regularly, the reason I use super glue is because the silks, the nano silks, tend to slip a lot more on the hook shanks. If you use wax, it's no good, they still get a lot of rotation. So I'm just going to stop there, and what I'm going to do next is tie in my tail fibres. Now I'm using some Coq de Leon, this stuff here, lovely barred feather. I've already got one off here that I've been working with, and I'm going to take a healthy load, maybe half a dozen, and I want them to protrude approximately 1 centimetre past the bend of the hook. So once I've got that in place, I can just clamp down on it. Before I go any further, just check the length again, and I'm fairly happy with that. So I'm going to come all the way down, and I'm going to park my thread where a barb would be on a barbed hook. I can then come in and remove my waist. Now for the rib of this fly, all I'm using is some Vivis 80 E01 thread. I've already got a bit off that I've been working with here, and I'm just going to catch that in on my side. I'm going to try that again. Wouldn't behave for me there. And then I can come back to the base of my fly. I'll just get that thread out of the way. Now for the body of the fly, I'm using some of this Hemingways hair dubbing, and this is the white. Now I've cut a little corner off the packet here. I've started to, what I used to do is just decant stuff into little boxes, but with doing the videos I want to show people what I'm using, and subsequently I've got boxes full of dubbing and stuff that I've got no idea what it is. I just use it. But so I've started doing this, and a little tip if you want to do the same is cut a corner off of your dubbing packet, and then you've got access to the dubbing and you still know what it is. So I'm just going to take the tiniest little bit of this dubbing, it won't take much, to come up the body, and I'll dub that onto my tying thread. Now Caenis is known as the angler's curse, and there's no doubt sometimes it can be tricky when the fish get a little bit preoccupied. They can be a bit of a bugger to tempt when they're on Caenis. Okay, I'm going to leave a good 1/4 of an inch to the eye of the hook. Then I can come with my rib, and I want to get 3 or 4 turns in, like so. Once I've caught that in, I can remove the excess piece of thread. Now, for us blind old gits, you might not be able to see this fly. Size 14 is quite small, so what I'm going to do is put a little sighter on it. I'm using Glo-Brite number 1. As you can see, it's a bright pink colour. And what I've done is I've already got a little piece off here, and I want to fold it in half, like so. And then I can catch that in just there, and bring it all the way back. So that's going to be my sighter later on. So you can use natural CDC, but I've got this stuff to hand. Sorry it's not in the packet. As I was saying, I tend to take stuff out and then forget where it is, but I know that I got this from Trout line, and it's the Ultra Select CDC, and I want to pick out 2 feathers from that. Now what I'm going to do is, you can see there's a natural bend in the feather. It bends to one side, and same with the other one, there's a natural bend. Now I want to bring these together like so, so you can see they plume off at different angles, and that's going to be my wings. Now marry up the tips as best you can. Try and get the stems together, pull everything forward to the tip. Then what you're looking for here is about the length of the hook, and on a size 14 that's not much to work with. So I've just got my fingers in the right spot now. I'm loath to take it off, so I'm going to just get a couple of turns to hold that into place. Just lift the back, check that you've got your floss is in line, then you can give that another couple of turns to clamp down. Now what I want to do next, I'm tying this wing in the Spanish style, so I just want to make sure that I can differentiate the front of my wings, which I can, and then what I want to do is pop the whole thing up just like you would a parachute post, and then get a few turns in, excuse my fingers, to lift the wing. It's a little bit fiddly, but you get a very pleasing effect at the end of the day. Okay, so that's not too bad. And just making sure, yeah, I can still see that the 2 feathers are splitting for me nicely. Next then, you've got to get some dubbing in to create your thorax. So what I'm going to use is some of the Spectre dub. This is number 45 again. I've got a little bit in my packet, and as you can see it's quite long fibres, so you don't need very much, and you want to catch that in on your thread, and it dubs really thinly down, so you get a nice very slim dubbing rope here. Now what I want to do is just get, including my sighter there, I'm just bringing it all back in behind the thorax. Just going to split my feathers at this point. And then I can come up between the feathers, and the front is very difficult to find, but I've managed it. More by luck than judgment, I might add. And then bring the last one over again. Make sure you keep all this. You're going to need that, and then bring your thread to the front. Okay. Now that might have looked a little bit cack-handed, no doubt, but we've got there in the end. So next then, I'm going to bring my pink sighter. Pink just stands out for me. Some people prefer orange, but I just like pink. I think it really stands out on the water, so I'm going to get a couple of turns just to secure that in. And then I'm going to bring my sighter back over the front of the fly, and I've left myself plenty of space to work here. Now, so what I've got is that the sighter's now completely behind the wings, and I need another tiny little piece of dubbing here just to cover up that front bit. Doesn't need very much at all. So I'll bring that all back, and then bring your thread to the front, and before bringing in your whip finish tool, just add a little bit of either UV varnish or ordinary varnish if you've got the time to let it dry, and you can come in with your whip finisher. Try not to get that varnish all over the place. Bring in your scissors, remove your waste. A quick blast with the UV torch. And next we can come in and trim up our bits and bobs here. Now the post I like to leave approximately 1/8 of an inch. It's surprising, it's only a tiny little bit, but you can really pick that out on the river. And then your two waste pieces at the back, you want to trim them slightly shorter than your front wing. And then what you've got is hopefully an effective Caenis pattern. I'll just turn that your way so you can see the sighter post now. Obviously when it's on the river, that's the footprint there, and with any luck, and you need a bit of luck with a Caenis, that will sort them out. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you got something out of that. The Spanish technique's quite interesting. They've got a good technique there. They've come up with a good technique, and I really like it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please think about clicking the button now, and I'll see you all next time.